We're back in Campbell. I offer millions of obeisances and Pushpanjali to the lotus feet of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupāda, who's given us the opportunity to have sadhu sangha. And to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Panchatattva, who opened the storehouse of love of God and invited us to also plunder the contents and distribute it without considering who's a fit or unfit candidate. To Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan for accepting the service of everyone in our community over the last several decades. To Sri Sri Lakshmi Nrsingadev, who arrived on 9/11 in the afternoon around 2:41 p.m., just as news was spreading that the world had changed because of attacks to the World Trade Center. They pulled up in the parking lot in a convertible Mazda driven by Bhaktivatsal and entered our temple and our lives. And to all the assembled devotees or the disassembled devotees, that is those who are here now and those who have been here in the past, if we went back and remember the names of everyone, we would swoon. Because every devotee who has come here and whom we have served together with, shoulder to shoulder, whether in the kitchen or on the field of Sankirtan or in the D.A.D. room, has become dear to us. We know when Madhukanta Prabhu one morning during Bhagavatam class said, "I'm just going to see my mother," and then he never came back. How we're still feeling separation from him. And how when Vedavit Prabhu moved his job to Butler, Pennsylvania, we were morose for weeks. But then when we got reports from Butler, Pennsylvania, that the Sankirtan was skyrocketing, we realized that Krishna has his own plan. We're part of that plan, but we have to tolerate the separation of devotees because he may want them somewhere else. Ramananda Roy, when sitting with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, was asking him many questions about the superlatives of life and about what's most important in the life of any living entity. Mahaprabhu asked him, what is the best song? And he said, any songs about Radha and Krishna, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. He said, what is the greatest sorrow? Ramananda Roy replied, I know of no other sorrow except for separation from the Vaishnava. We've been given the association of Vaishnavas as much as we like, because we live in a community of devotees who are working in a haituki apratiyata mode, unmotivated and uninterrupted service. We also can chant Hare Krishna as much as we like, nobody will complain. We may have to stop sometimes to sweep the floor, but everyone's happy if it goes on outside. Nobody complains if we go on chanting our japa into the night. Everyone understands us. That's community. We know the values of life because of the grace of Srila Prabhupada and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we have here an incubation center where we're free to experiment as much as we wish how to serve Shri Shri Radha Krishna, Shri Shri Panchatattva, Srimad Mahaprabhu, Shri Shri Lakshmi Nrsingadev, and how to expand the Sankirtan movement. And in that work, we've been able to, by Krishna's grace, find various ways, workarounds, to continue our services, and hopefully in some places to have improved over the years. And in the endeavor, we've all grown. Nirākulā and I have watched generations of new devotees born into our community. All of us who are over a certain age have, and who have been here. And it's quite a revelation to see how, when we dedicate ourselves to chanting Hare Krishna and the Sankirtan movement, no one can stop Krishna or from sending qualified living entities through every door and coming to us through many families. And together, we're fortified, each one of us playing an essential role. We've had characters of different kinds, characters in the sense of some people have their idiosyncrasies. And in the Sri Brahma Samhita, in the section Sriya Kanta Kanta, it's mentioned in the translation by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur that in the spiritual world, all living beings are enjoyable and tasty. It means they have character. And unbeknownst to many of us, especially me, there are unlimited services going on behind the scenes from devotees who humbly come and do their service, gratefully come and do their service, whatever it might be in the middle of the night. Some stay up all night after Janmashtami, taking every last speck of dust from the temple hall or parking lot. Others stay back and wash the pots. Others are planning behind the scenes. We don't see all the meetings, but they spend hours and hours planning how to put on the best possible festival for all the devotees. Some are decorating, staying up all night again, the cooking, the cleaning, the D.A.D. worship, and then our teachers. I've attended maybe a few classes on the side or met with teachers, but you've all been going on for decades, giving your heart and soul to the children who come into this community. And look at the result. Last night, when I was watching the people of Palo Alto or wherever they're from walk down the street and examine the faces of all the devotees there, especially with the youth in front, I was interpreting the expressions on their face. And if I could give an AI interpretation, it would be something along the lines of, where have these children come from? I've never seen youth like this. People from India, they were thinking, again, AI interpretation, why can't my kids be like this? And other people just stunned that there could be such a joyful vibration in the middle of the corner where across the street they're selling telephones, and down the street they're hustling, try to sell a little pot of beans for $20, a little pot of baked beans, a soft drink to go with it. Meanwhile, we're giving out prasadam, singing the holy names, and we don't have a care in the world. We may have cares, but we don't care. Because we've got the Sankirtan movement, and we've got one another. We've had in the past Devotee Appreciation Days. We call them D.A.D., Devotee Appreciation Day. We did it for maybe 4 years. And by the 4th year, I remember driving home and saying to Nirakula, "How do you feel?" She said, "All right." And I said, "Well, I don't feel quite right." And we felt some anxiety. And as we discussed it more, we realized that we were both feeling some anxiety. And we were able finally, by Krishna's giving us intelligence to understand what it was. Couldn't say enough about the devotees. Although we tried, for those of you who were there during those times, the D.A.D.s, everyone would try. The overachievers in our group, which is 99% of the population, would get up and try to exalt as many devotees as they could. In fact, in those days, it might have even been possible for the valedictorian 1600 SAT type person to think of everybody and say something about each one. But it was rare and hard. And for those of us who are not so capable, it seemed like a dwarf, as Prabhupada sometimes said, reaching for the moon. And somehow we felt unfulfilled, that we weren't able to say enough, or maybe that feeling when we fell asleep at night, we woke up at 1 in the morning and thought, "Oh, I missed somebody." And it made us realize that it's not possible to fully express our gratitude to the devotees for their association. I'm saying for everyone involved, because I know other devotees felt like that too. But we can express our gratitude to one another by holding space the way we've been asked to by Krishna and our spiritual masters, to show up for our services and set an example for others. And whenever we have the opportunity, when it comes naturally, to fully express or as far as possible, express our gratitude to the devotees. The theme today is behind the scenes. Prabhu mentioned Nirākulā. I just want to thank you, Nirākulā, for doing everything. I don't do much. She makes me look good. If someone asks me to do something, I just say, "Go ask Nirākulā." As far as airplanes and flights, I have no idea where we're going or where the tickets come from. They just show up on the day we're supposed to leave, and I get on the plane and go. And when we get there, I don't worry about the filming or anything else or the schedule of the prasadam, as I have somebody there who's watching everything and making sure it gets done. And then there are the pep talks, which I need almost every hour. Am I all right? What do you think? And you're always there to just stop what you're doing, turn around, look me in the eye and say, "You're all right, better than all right," and give examples, which frankly keeps me going. Thank you. And to everyone, all the devotees, when we're away, there's no doubt that we're experiencing the joy of going here, there, and everywhere in the world and having service. We think about our lives frequently and remember how grateful we are, how lucky we are. Everywhere we go, we're amongst devotees who are very enthusiastic, who take care of us better than we deserve, and who give us unlimited service wherever we go. But I can also say that wherever we are and however we're engaged, we're always thinking about coming back to our home base. Because you got to have a home, and home is where the heart is. And if we start thinking about how grateful we are to all of you, we would be up all night tossing and turning. And that can happen. We try not to get overwhelmed, let it flood in. Just try to show our gratitude by trying to keep up with all of you and show up for whatever little services we can do here in your company. We don't know how we got dropped off here. Sometimes we don't want to mention it because somebody might then say, oh, we made a mistake. Somebody more qualified was meant to be in this assembly. So we just keep quiet and go on with whatever services we can do. But please know that we feel that having your association is Krishna's reciprocation in our life, the kind that comes like a tidal wave. Tidal waves don't necessarily appear as very tall waves. They just have force behind them and they keep pushing. And from the moment that we came into Prabhupada's association, we've received an inordinate amount of mercy, and it keeps coming like a tidal wave pushing us along. And for us, you are the substance of that wave. The combined services in this room and the combined power of japa, imagine the combined power of all the japa that all of you perform together, what it's doing for the planet, for the universe, and the potential we have together with the association all of us have had in various venues and great devotees who have come to ISV. We've received enough sukriti in our hearts to share for many, many, many millions of lifetimes with others all over the world who haven't received even a drop. We said the unsung heroes, but Krishna doesn't miss anything. He sees whatever we do. Every time you work behind the scenes or you say, I'm tired, but I'm going to do it anyway, and you show up and do your service, Krishna writes it in his book. It's recorded and counted. So please accept our deepest gratitude and thanks for your association and for all the services that you're doing. And we're just beginning, because we've spent the last few decades building a foundation. I see that foundation in the maturity of the devotees who have stuck to their services for all these years, and for the youth who have come in and, like no other place I know of quite, or at least I'm hearing from many people wherever I go, that all of you who have done the impossible, you've performed 2 Olympic sports at one time, finishing high school, college, and taking up strict sadhana. Nobody does that. It's impossible, but you're doing the impossible. And you'll continue to do it because Krishna will empower you. From this one room, from our community together, we can overflow the banks, the walls, and flood the entire Bay Area with Krishna consciousness. In fact, it's happening now. We can't stop it, actually. And it's happening. So let's lean into it and get a tidal wave going and keep up in the mood of the Panchatattva. I love that mood. Don't you? I mean, who writes that in a spiritual book? They plundered the storehouse of love of Godhead, and they ate and distributed its contents. The more they distributed, the more the contents. It's spiritual madness, actually. And that's Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood. So let's continue to be spiritually mad. Let's continue to be loving, appreciative, and flexible in working with every kind of character who comes into our community. And let's always show our gratitude to those who are doing service, small, medium, or large. Whatever it may look like to us, we should show gratitude. Hare Krishna. There's your mic.
It's a little high for me. Hare Krishna. Thank you. My heart's just bursting, just sitting here, seeing you all, being with you all. Remembering so many years back, Prabhu mentioned my 70th birthday is coming up, and I can remember many of you were here for my 50th, and for my 60th. You gifted me a mangle every time I sit down at that thing, which is quite often. I have so much gratitude in my heart for that gift. Thank you. I feel so blessed to be a part of this community, especially as the years go on, and I get to see all of you growing up. Many of you are celebrating your 50th this year, and it's amazing to me because it was just like that long ago that we were celebrating our 50th. So it's really a blessing to see all of you progressing in your spiritual lives, and all the, we get to go through a lot with each other. Illness, death of parents, death of friends, death of community members. The longer we're together, the more we go through, and the more we appreciate each other, and the more we understand the value of community. And I say community, but in my heart, it's family. That's what it is. It's family. And all of you and your moods and your support is what makes it that way. We are so blessed in this community. We have disciples of many gurus, and I love that. I love the way we can all cooperate together. Husband and wife have different gurus. Children have different gurus from their parents. It's just, I love that. And I've heard some devotees come and they say, no, you should marry the same, and whoever your husband or wife is, they have the same guru. But I see how beautifully it works here. We all get along so nicely. We appreciate each other's supports and siksha and diksha gurus. It's so lovely. We were in the UK, and I was asked to speak with Janavi Jeevana's mom, who many of you have met, Guru Charana Padma. She's a lovely devotee. And we were talking about the 6 loving exchanges. And one realization I had was that a loving exchange can be something like, which was really valuable to me, was giving gifts and giving the gift of service to someone. I remember the devotees who have given me service, and it's a gift that, as they say, keeps on giving. So as we have so many devotees that have been here for decades, and we're welcoming so many new faces. Let's open our hearts to them as well and make them feel as loved and supported and appreciated and valued. as we all feel for the devotees we know really well. And if we have some service that we can give to them, do it. It's the biggest gift that you can give to someone, because you know, what's the saying? Your savior will save you. Right. I'm sure all of you have experienced that somewhere in your lives already. I know we have. I continue to experience that. So if you have the opportunity to encourage someone, especially someone new to the community, please do it. Let them feel the completeness, the acceptance, the care that we all give to each other who we've known for so long. That's one of the most valuable things that we have as a family and a community. I'm so grateful to all of you. I learned so much from you, from your examples, from your steadfastness, from your abilities, from your graceful way that you go about doing your service. And I was, this thought came to me while Prabhu was thinking. I don't know where I was and who I was with, but I remember someone, I don't know, they were reading palms or something, and someone looked at my hand and they said, "You're going to live like a queen." And I thought, and little did I know, I mean, I feel like that. I feel like so much more than I deserve. So much more than I deserve, and I can attribute it to Srila Prabhupada and to my good fortune of marrying my husband. He's after being accepted by Srila Prabhupada and coming to Krishna consciousness, he's the biggest blessing in my life, and I feel he was a direct gift from Sri Sri Rukmini Dwarkadish. He came just at the right time. It was troubling times in the 80s in the movement and everywhere, and Krishna sent us to put us together at a time where we could really support each other and just keep moving on. And it was our seva that saved us. We never gave that up. Whatever was happening that could be troublesome or hard to understand, just pushing forward with our seva was a real blessing. And Prabhu's been so steady at that, never deviating, never giving up what was given to him by Srila Prabhupada. And if you can do that, if you can, whatever that service is, whatever it is, if you can take that service and make it your own and then share it with others or teach others how to do it, it's that storehouse. It just keeps growing and growing and growing beyond our imagination. I take the dust of all of your feet. You inspire me every single day. I'm so grateful for the way you love and care for each other, for the way you're bringing up your children, for the way you're treating your friends, for the way you go out and distribute love of Godhead to the public. And I pray that you please forgive my offenses and keep me in your prayers so that I can always stay in your association. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. So the youth who have traveled away from home for college have put together a little video for you, Guruma, And it's a collection of the stories of your friends and their memories. And these people also live far away, so they want to share some words with everyone as well for your 70th birthday. Hare Krishna. We hope you enjoy.
Well, we grew up in the same neighborhood in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, and we went to the same Catholic school, primary school. So when I first met Nirakula, we were kind of carefree kids. When we left home, when we left Brooklyn, that's when we started seriously kind of dwelling. We didn't have Prabhupāda's books yet at that time, but we had Das and Remember Be Here Now and Autobiography of a Yogi, and we were interested in that. So we started reading those books and chanting Om together. And when we left for California, Nirakula was the most enthusiastic one for me.
The year, it was probably 1981. And just being members of the same community, living in the community, serving in the community, Nirakula is sort of synonymous with sort of compassion and kindness. And that is what I have experienced sort of from day one. So whether it was sort of encouragement that I might have needed for school, whether it was just teenage issues that people have with their parents, or service, of just sort of encouraging service and being of service. So she was just that amazing person who, would play the role, whatever it was that was needed at the time. And that's why I've always referred to her as like my big sister, because the big sisters have that ability to be motherly when they need to be a friend when they need to be a mentor when they need to. And those are all the hats that Nirakula sort of wears for me.
I first met Nirakula the day my mother and father brought me home from the hospital. I didn't have much of an impression because I was impressionless at that point in my life.
Okay. I'd say 50 years ago. That's when I met Mother Nirakula. Sweet, good, mode of goodness, sincere, devotional, genuine, fun. We went traveling. We had great times together.
It's not just one quality. I can't do that. There's too much good. Too much good. Her heart. She has a very big heart. Her determination. And she's just unstoppable. She never tires of serving. And she makes use of her time. But even in doing that, even in how busy she is, she'll still be there for the people that she cares about, in a split second if necessary, because her heart is very strong like that.
In Nirakula, I think what shines the brightest is her kindness and her compassion. And yeah, I just really deeply value our friendship.
Genuine. Lighthearted. Sweet. Headstrong, though. Very headstrong.
Very headstrong. She's focused. Laser beam focused Nirakula is what comes to say about her.
Well, she's serving Vaisesika, and we know what part of the mission Vaisesika is doing. And actually even Nirakula, because before she married him, that's what she did, is she worked for the BBT. So as far as her service goes, she's always worked to support book distribution. And now she's working to increase the numbers of spirit souls that have shelter, right, by giving them shelter. But she's done everything. She's done deity worship, and she's a wonderful cook, and she hosts her god brothers and god sisters whenever they need it, whenever they come around. So she's pretty much all around Prabhupada's mission.
I think for sure, just preaching and spreading Krishna consciousness. The inspiration that I felt has always provided to myself and many of us in the earlier years. I feel like, she has spread it. It's become exponential, and it's hard to even fathom it. And yet I see all the time just what she gives of herself in order to inspire that Krishna consciousness in everyone.
There's no slacking off. He's completely dedicated.
Yeah, that's the word that stuck in my mind. Slack. Nirākulā doesn't. Never took shortcuts.
Never gets lethargic. Never gets.
She's got an unusual. When we were younger, Vaisesika Prabhu said that Nirakula had potato picking energy, because in Ireland, the potato pickers were the people that were the most energetic and the most successful. And that's Nirakula. She's got lots of energy when it comes to seva.
I wrote her a poem for her 50th. So I took a segment of that. I'll read what I wrote for her 50th, and then I'll jump ahead to her 70th. She chanted her rounds on one side of Vaisesika. Across from her chanted the handsome Vaisesika. What karmis call fate, Krishna's mercy instead, they met, associated, and soon after were wed. Nira's fervor to serve Guru and Gauranga is rare. Together with the Vaisesika, they make a pair extraordinaire. Fast forward 2 decades, most karma is varied, but Nirakula stays pretty, sweet, popular, and even happily married. Now my little friend has a maid in the shade. It seems like her path back to Godhead is paved. So many adore her and want her association. Her 50th birthday is an occasion sensation. Spiritually speaking, she's leaving us all in the dust. Her friendship and mercy to me is a must. So happy 50th birthday, dear Nirakula. Today you're a star. My wish for you is simple. Stay exactly as you are. Then jump ahead 20 years. This is her 70th birthday tribute. 20 years later, her mind still so quick and sharp. She seems to know every single person's name and birthday by heart. That blows my mind. Her words are always logical and kind, and best of all, they are totally genuine. She's sharp and fun and loves to laugh, and yet she's sober with lots of natural class. She'll fan the bhakti in me and you, because doing so serves the mission of our Jagat Guru. Her Vaish is absolutely wonderful as he preaches and sings, but we know she's the wind beneath his wings. That I love her dearly and always will is simply my story. Thank you much for including me in her birthday glory. Your servant, Mohini Dasi.
From the time that she decided to be a devotee, that was her path. There was no hesitation. There was no mixed feelings. There was no doubt. She was constantly, from then till now, one foot in front of the other. She was fixed up. Prabhupada said fixed up. And she was, right from the beginning. There was never any wavering.
She's an amazing soul, that friend of mine.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. I was just going to say Hare Krishna and then continue, but then I heard an enthusiastic response from Geeta Priya, so I was inspired to say the complete mantra. Thank you, Geeta Priya. So that was an amazing video. Amazing is not the word to fully describe it. So thank you for compiling that video and sharing all these photographs. Being new to the community, I was seeing most of the photographs for the first time. How many of you saw like more than 50% photographs before? Nobody. So thank you for sharing all these photographs. Thank you. Haribo! Next, we will have a small cake cutting on a big table, of course. So while they are setting up the table, we can do a Harinam.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna, dear Guruma, Hare Krishna to you. Radharani bless you, may Radharani bless you, may Radharani bless you. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
We'll now have Vaisesika Prabhu give the closing remark, and then we can go into the prashadam.
Manmohini, who's a close friend of Nirākulā, joined the movement with her brother Swarup in New York City. Jewish family, very tight-knit. Their mother wasn't very pleased to lose son and daughter to the Hare Krishna movement. And one day at home she was complaining to Manmo, whom she used to complain to because, as Manmo recounts, Swarup, her older brother, younger brother, was really smart, and she was afraid of him. So she was complaining to Manmohini, saying, I don't like that you've left home, you've gone and joined the Hare Krishna movement. And she said, I'm going to pray to God that you guys come back home. They were actually secular Jews. They weren't so absorbed in the synagogue. But Sarup just happened to be walking in the room at that same time. And Mother was a little startled that he overheard what she said, afraid of her son because he's so smart. He goes, yeah, Mom? Who are you going to pray to? She goes, well, I don't know, Krishna? So some know Krishna directly because they've heard about him from the disciplic succession. Others may try to deny Krishna, but even in denying Krishna, it's an act of consciousness and remember and trying to forget him. So we're very fortunate that we have our whole lives to remember Krishna and pray to him directly for all benedictions, and he takes care of his devotees more than we can expect. That's why his name is Vanjatita, which means he fulfills the desires of his devotees more than they can expect. So please, let's pray together. Dear Srila Prabhupada, dear Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shri Shri Panchatattva, Shri Shri Gaurnitai, Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan, Shri Shri Lakshmi Nrsingadev, if you so desire, please empower us to all work together as community to serve your lotus feet in ways that will astound the world, will make the demigods take notice and shower flowers, and that will put a smile on the face of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Thank you for considering our requests. Everyone agrees with this prayer in whole or in part. Please unmute and say Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpadribhishcha kripasindavevacha patitanam